Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast. And I am with the amazing Michelle Thames of, is it Thames Media? Is that right?
Yes, Thames Media Solutions.
Thames Media Solutions. Okay, awesome. And she is a powerhouse on Instagram. So you all have to follow her on Instagram, and I'll let her give you all of her channels. But she's also a speaker and can help corporations and other events with their social media strategy. And we'll also let her tell you more about her speaking topics and how she helps there as well. Michelle, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I am so excited to be here. I love your podcast and it has helped me so much. So I'm so excited to be on the show.
Yes, we're so excited to have you. So tell us a little bit about what it is that you do at Thames Media Solutions and how you got into social media management. And really, I'm sure it's far more than just social media management. So how did you get into the branding and the development that you help business owners and other corporate professionals do?
So I am Michelle. I'm a social media strategist. I'm also a digital content creator and an influencer, and I've been an influencer for 11 years. And I started off as a natural hair blogger. So I had a YouTube channel, I had a natural hair blog, and I started out just doing twist outs in my bathroom and talking to the camera. And I was like, I didn't really have like a thing, like a hobby or anything. And so this was like my first hobby and passion. It was hair. So I took that, I went to social media, created a YouTube channel, and one of my videos ended up going viral. It got like 60,000 views. And I remember one time I was out in the middle of the ocean on this cruise. So at this point, I was like a blogger, influencer. And then somebody was like, oh my God, is this Naturalista 86? So that was my previous name before I changed it to Michelle L. Thames. But this all started as a natural hair blog. And I was fired from my healthcare job in 2016, and I had the amazing opportunity to work for a really large beauty brand with no marketing degree. I don't have a marketing degree. It's all because of my skill and what the CEO, she saw me doing online. And I was their first digital marketing and social media manager and helped to really build the brand's community. So I really love social media. It's like I'm a social media nerd. I'm talking to people about it. They're like, what are you talking about? It's just so much, but it's so cool to help brands build and scale their brand on social media. And that's what I help them with. I work with influencers, creatives, small business owners to help them really build community. And that's what's really going to get, people to buy from you is when you build community. So that's pretty much how I started all this.
Okay. And I love what you talk about in terms of, so quick social media break here, guys. And we are going to talk here about speaking as well. So keep listening. But what I love about your Instagram is how you utilize reels to show your personality, and you bring in your family. And first off, your family is super cute. Like you all literally fit together so well. And of course, this is all from what I see on social, guys. So like they're the cutest family. And I think you all got reposted at one time, and you were just talking about how you use reels, how you shouldn't overthink it. And I think that for my audience of speakers who are also entrepreneurs, the hardest part when something new like reels come out, is still new to me, is it gets very overwhelming. So before we get into like the speaking journey, you have to help the Speak Your Way to Cash audience out. How should we be utilizing these new features that Instagram comes out with? And do you recommend we utilize whatever the new feature is at the time, or kind of stick to what you can be consistent with? What are your thoughts on that?
So reels are hot. I definitely recommend reels. And you're right. I think a lot of people overthink reels, but you should just really be yourself, because your audience is going to like you for you. You want them to follow you for you. So I felt like when reels came out, I really was able to showcase my funny personality and really, provide education as well. And it's been an amazing tool. I've gained like 1,200 followers over the last 30 days by using reels. So it's Instagram's latest feature, and they want you to use it. So they reward the people who do use it. So you're able to reach more people. All the people that I've recently reached are people that hadn't been following me before. So it's a great tool because, again, it's still so new. You can get on it. You don't have to dance on there. You can, just be yourself. And it's really going to help build your audience, because they're going to be able to see a different side of you as well, but also by you sharing education and, about your brand and business as well.
Yeah. And for everyone listening who's like, I don't know how to edit all them videos and get all that stuff in, let me be very clear, y'all. Like, if you go look at my reels, they are the most basic, like me with a phone, holding it and talking things in the world. And I was telling my husband yesterday, I'm like, I'm gonna talk to Michelle. I need to do a reel. I need to do something. Okay. And I did this reel and it was like 30 seconds. And it was just like, look, it was all about your dreams or something. 30 seconds about your dreams. I didn't even plug anything. And within 30 minutes, it had 3,500 or 3,200 views. And I was like, what? That's crazy. So you can totally be like me, super low tech when it comes to reels and just talking to the screen. Now I've gotten into some voiceovers and I've linked products to reels, to one of my reels. And so it's been a journey, but I do wish I could do all of the cute, like, oh, let me throw a shirt and now I'm in it. You know what I mean? Like, is that like required? You're saying no, we could just talk and it'll still
work.
That's
advanced.
Okay. Well, that's good to know because I was definitely like, how do they get in them shirts? They just throw them up and now they're in the shirt. Okay, so I'm not there yet. I can talk into the camera for 30 seconds, give y'all some tips, link a product or something and keep it moving. So this was okay. So me and you we have been connected on social media, but then you eventually attended Speak Your Way to Cash Live 2020, which went 100% virtual. And you all know this year we're hybrid. So what was it about the event or maybe the social media promotion that intrigued you to actually attend after following me for some time?
Yeah, so I like to follow people and see what they're about and like what their businesses are about before like I really dive in because we know on social media you have to follow and watch people. So I'm like, Ashley, she really knows about this speaking thing. And I was telling my husband, I'm like, I definitely want to step it up in the speaking realm. I mean, I've done a lot of his speaking engagements. I've been on panels, even as a blogger and an influencer. I've been on many panels. So I'm like, but now I want to take it to a different level. And I know like I want to speak at universities and things like that. And I'm like, she's talking about all of this. So I, decided to purchase a ticket to Speak Your Way to Cash 2020. And I'm so glad that I did because it was a lot of information that I definitely didn't know. I mean, a lot of people have fluff information, but I will tell you that Ashley does none of that. Like everything was very well thought out. We even got boxes sent to our house. I really love that, that extra touch that you put because speaking is if you're not like a speaker, it can be something that's, a little bit scary to go into. But I think that you really, explain everything well, especially for me. I wanted to know more about speaking at colleges and universities and the people that you had for that segment. I think they did a really good job. And it really just, helped me to solidify and figure out the approach that I wanted to take with that. So it was very helpful. And since I've landed, numerous speaking gigs and I'm continuing, this 5-figure speaking gig is going to come one day. I'm waiting on it. It's coming.
It is coming. It is coming. So you landed your first 4-figure speaking engagement after attending the event. And the session that she's talking about, guys, for those of you who are like, what is she talking about? We had a session where some of my clients came in. They were a client that did very well for me, and they came in and actually talked. And when I say they gave the game, like they answered any of the questions, talked about pricing, talked about budget. We have some of the most amazing guest speakers of any conference because they're so actionable with the content that they give. But that was what happened last year. And so we're going to have some more mystery speakers this year. But they were phenomenal. And it was a really good session. And they even talked about what they enjoyed about my sales process that helped them to rebook, which I think is very critically important. But there's so much information that you get at a conference like that. What was the thing that you think helped you to secure the bag? Like, what was it that clicked with you that while you were pitching and gearing up to pitch, you were like, okay, I learned this, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna land my highest paid engagement to date. What was that for you?
I think you had something in there that was like, why not me? Did you have that in your thing?
Yeah.
That was it. It was like, why not me? Why can't I land this gig? Like, why can't I be on this platform? Like, why? Like, why not me? So I went after, like, I guess it gave me that extra ammunition I needed. And I was like turned up and I'm like, why not me? If other people can land 5-figure speaking gigs, heck, 6-figure speaking gigs, I know that I can. I just have to put in the work and really get clear on like what my topics are and what I want to, share at universities, or if it's different, or, like the structure of all of that. But yeah, that statement, why not me? It was like, it just turned me on, and I'm like, why not me? I'm definitely going to land it. So, and I did. So it was really very inspirational. And, you gave actionable things that we can do. I love people that give actionable tips, like no fluff. What do I need to know to get, like, you have the sauce or the special blueprint that I'm trying to get to, but there's not 57,000 things that we can do to get there. Like, what's the straight path? And I think that you definitely gave that.
Yeah. And that, one thing I'll say is that why not me portion of it, that was the mindset portion, because I was like, look, like we started off the event and I already know how people think. Like, you're going to hear big numbers today. If you come to Speak Your Way to Cash Live 2021, you're going to hear big numbers. You're going to hear some success stories. You're going to hear some stories of things that did not work out. But in the end, you're going to hear about things that you may not have known were possible. And right when we hear something that's like, okay, I could land a $50,000 contract, if your mindset isn't there, the first thing your mind and body is going to do is like revert. You're immediately going to be like, oh no, that's not for me. That's for her, because she's so different from me for all these millions of reasons, And I wanted you all to really understand that that could definitely be you. But what I love about what you said and that I want to point out is we give a lot of strategies, templates, swipe, copy, all of that. But the most impactful thing was the mindset piece of it. And some people would confuse that part of it with fluff. So can you talk a little bit about how before you knew what was possible, before your mindset changed, where were you then? Like when you were doing engagements before and it wasn't for 4+ figures, like what was going through your mind? Like, why did you accept those engagements? Did you know something else was possible? Where were you before?
Yeah, I think before I just really was like, am I really a speaker? Like, because let's be honest, I feel like in the speaking world, like people want you to be like, quote unquote, super professional or something like that. So maybe that's where like I had my headspace like, oh, well, I have locks, people don't think that those are professional. Nobody will want to hire me as a speaker, or, I don't talk proper enough or whatever. But I'm like, oh, all of these things are just excuses, Michelle. You have to get this out of your head. And I think that why not me was like, but people like you for you. People want to speak to you for you. Like, you have a special gift that the world needs to hear, and you just need to tell the story. So I think that it really helped my mindset with that. And I'm big on mindset. I mean, I read a lot of books. Like, I work my mind every day, because your mind is your most powerful tool. And like, of course, we all need that extra push, but mindset is very important. And I'm really glad that you had that in there. Like, I even do social media mindset, like with my clients, because like, mindset is real. So I definitely appreciate you for that. And that is what helped to change that. It was just like, why not me?
Yeah, no, that's so powerful. And I hope that everyone listening realizes how powerful mindset is. So if you are someone who's looking to land your first engagement, or you're wondering why you're not pitching, or you're wondering why you're stagnant in your business, even outside of just speaking, it always comes back to belief systems. Like, it just always, like, prove me wrong that it does not come back to belief systems. Like, everything in my life that I've achieved or that I've, failed at has come back to a belief system. So I think that that's so very powerful. So the other thing I wanted to talk to you about is the event. We do a lot of, it's very interactive. A lot of community is built. How was that for you? Seeing the other people at the event, supporting each other? Did you feel connected? Because this year, if you're VIP, you come in person, but if you get a general admission ticket, it's still virtual. And we only have so many in-person tickets because of COVID and everything else. And I live in Chicago, y'all. They strict out here. So how was it attending virtually? Did you feel alone? Did you feel like you were a part of a community? How was explain like the vibe and the energy of a virtual experience with Speak Your Way to Cash?
Yeah, no, I felt definitely a sense of community. There was actually a girl that we're friends on Facebook, and we're like, oh, we're going to be accountability partners. We're both going to go. And we both went to the event. And I think that, definitely the rooms that you did, like when people could speed network, I think that was really cool, because a lot of people were like, oh, or people that like may have followed me on social media after that was like, oh, I met you at the Speak Your Way to Cash, or yeah, I've been following you since then. So it was really, a good way to connect, even though we're virtual, because, events are slowly happening again. I mean, slowly, But yeah, I think it still had that community touch, and it's all about community. I definitely preach community to my social media, to my clients, because if you don't have that, it's going to be hard for you to sell anything. Like, you have to have community and build community and link people together, because you never know, like, who, you could be the what do they call it, the connector, so it's all about community connecting. I think that you had some amazing people there, and I definitely have connected with them, so I definitely felt the sense of community, even though it was virtual.
Okay, awesome. So for all of you who have your virtual ticket already, rest easy. It's gonna be a great event. The other thing that you pointed out earlier was, like, you may have thought that a speaker has a certain persona, or speaks a certain way, communicates a certain way, looks a certain way, etc. And there are some people who are watching or listening to this podcast episode, and they're like, okay, Michelle, I hear what you're saying, but you're gorgeous and you look very professional online, and all of your social media stuff looks beautiful. I'm just starting out. I don't have all of those assets in place just yet, but I know I have a story to tell. What would you say to that person? Should they still attend? Did you feel like you needed to be more advanced? How was that, like, with you being somewhat newer to landing these larger engagements?
No, I think that you just have to start. Just like with a YouTube channel, if you just have a ring light and a computer and a nice backdrop, or, a nice wall that you could film on, just start. So I think with speaking, like, if you feel like you're ready to, like, step into the realm, I think it is a great place for beginners. But I also think that it is a great place for people who may be more advanced too, because I had already done speaking engagements. I've been on panels and things like that, but I just felt like I needed to refine, like, my speaking tools and just learn a little bit more, because let's be honest, we always need to always keep and always be learning. So I felt like I could get even more information from Ashley and from all the people that she had at Speak Your Way to Cash to continue to advance my speaking career. So I think it's definitely for both, for beginners and for people who are already speaking as well.
Yeah. Okay. That's a really good point. I appreciate that point as well. So what's next for you in terms of your speaking journey? What's next?
What's next for my speaking journey is to hopefully do a TEDx talk. I'm working on that. And also definitely to land a 5-figure speaking engagement. I think it's definitely possible. Me and my husband, we are working on some things to speak at some universities. So I'm very excited about that. So I'll definitely let you know when I land these deals, girl, because I'm excited.
Yes, keep us posted. Keep us posted for sure. And who do you speak to? You mentioned colleges. Are you looking, because there may be some of my clients listening on this and they're always hiring other speakers. Who are your ideal speaking clients?
So yes, we would also speak to corporations. We teach about social media management. And even if you have employees and you want your employees to be advocates for your organization, we teach personal branding on social media. We also work with corporations to help develop social media strategies. We do a lot of different areas. So it doesn't have to be necessarily a school. You could be an entrepreneur if you need help as well. We can do, workshops, train your team, all of that. I really have extensive experience with all social media platforms. It's so crazy. And I know you asked in the beginning, like, should somebody focus on one or should they, like, do all of them? Like, just focus on, like, the top 2 and take your time and learn those. And then once you do that, move on to the next one, because it's so many. It's like Clubhouse. They came out with Green Room. I haven't even got a chance to sit down and look at that yet.
I know. I just got a message about Green Room the other day. Like, if you're a podcaster, you definitely need to be on Green Room. And I'm like, okay, something else for me to do. Let me focus on what I have going on. No, but that's amazing. And congratulations on your success on landing your largest contract to date after attending the event. And we are excited to see where it goes from here through all of your great pitching activities, because that is the key. To consistently pitch and get those engagements larger and larger so you could serve people on a higher level. So I really appreciate your time, Michelle. And in parting, we're going to ask you where people can find you. So where can we find you online?
You can find me on Instagram at Michelle L. Thames, and also my social media agency, Thames Media Solutions. Yes.
Definitely. And then last thoughts, who would you, if someone is sitting at home and they're like, I don't know if I should attend Speak Your Way to Cash Live and make the investment, what would you say to them?
Just do it. It's going to be, if you want to scale your business, you're going to have to invest. I was going to go live to talk about that today, but if you want to scale your business, if you want to advance, you have to invest. And I think, we can only piece together so many things on the internet. And I tell this to my clients as well when they come to me for social media management and strategy. You can only piece together so many different Google or this course or this course, but when you have the entire strategy right in front of you, which Ashley is going to give you, I think that you're going to feel much better in knowing that you can go in there and secure these secure these speaking engagements, because you also gave us templates. I believe like she gave us a whole workbook. So it's like, it's definitely worth the investment. So I don't think you should think twice.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Michelle. So glad to have you. I'm going to link to all of her stuff below, and I'll see you guys at Speak Get Ready Cash Live. And as always, thank you for listening to the Speak Get Ready Cash podcast.